Sprinkles, Santa Claus's special elf. Because everything is special with sprinkles. Santa Claus knows you're special too, and he has something to say to you. So listen close as Santa Claus shares holiday cheer with you. You can leave a special message for Santa Claus and get on the nice list at www.santaclaussays.net. Now here is the big man himself, Santa Claus!
Ho, 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 Merry Christmas to all the boys and the girls of the entire world. Santa Claus says to every boy and girl in the world, be good for goodness sakes. Welcome to SantaClausSays.net. This is the show where we offer to you, the children of the world of all ages, three things every night here live on YouTube and on podcast. Between now and Christmas, we offer you three things. Number one is Christmas cheer, and Sprinkles helps us to do that, and we share some funny jokes about Christmas. We also offer you a wonderful story, a story time with Santa Claus, and then we also have letters to Santa. You can always send your letters to Santa and your notes to Santa through our website, which is SantaClausSays.net. And that's where you can leave me either a voicemail or a text message or even an email, and I will get those. And who knows, maybe I will read your letter to Santa right here on SantaClausSays.net, our show on YouTube and on podcast. So we're glad to be with you. Well, there's the glockenspiel, boys and girls. This means it's time for Santa Claus's jokes for today. What does Mrs. Claus sing to Santa on his birthday? For he's a jolly good fellow. One more. What would Santa be called if he went down the chimney with the fire going? Crisp Kringle. That doesn't sound like very much fun to Santa Claus, but it's a funny joke. And I hope on Christmas Eve you have a fire in the fireplace for me, but you will have cookies and hot cocoa, because that is my favorite. So please be ready, because I am coming to your house on Christmas Eve. So that is a wonderful thing to do. Well, there is our glockenspiel, boys and girls, which means it's now time for our story for the day. We had our time of Christmas cheer with our jokes and with our elf Sprinkles, and now we're going to tell a story about some more elves. This is about the elf who found Christmas. And we pick up the story where we left off. Remember, we started the story a couple days ago. We have lots of great stories all through Christmas time, and we hope that you'll listen to all of them. And then we continue this story even tomorrow. But we have the story now about, pick up the story with a woman, with a character called Lady Arabella. Here we go. Lady Arabella was a big little girl doll, and Mary thought, that's the elf, had made her for little Princess Maud. It happens this way. Early in December, Santa Claus had a letter from Princess Maud's grandmother in which she said that she would like Princess Maud to have a big little girl doll for Christmas this year. Santa Claus took the letter to Merrythought, his best workman, and Merrythought sat himself down and made Lady Arabella. Now, Merrythought was so tired of curly hair and lace dresses with satin and bows and pale blue kid shoes to match that he didn't give Lady Arabella any of those. He thought to himself, perhaps Princess Maud is tired of fancy dresses too. Perhaps she would like a plain, comfortable doll with clothes that she could not spoil no matter how hard she played with her. So he gave Lady Arabella pretty blue eyes and pink cheeks, to be sure, and 2 long yellow braids tied with flyaway pink bows. but he dressed her in neat brown shoes and stockings and in a plain though fine white frock. And over the frock he put on a pink and white pinafore that covered her from top to toe, a good, sensible pinafore that was not in the least like a lace dress with satin bows and pale blue kid shoes to match. The pinafore had pockets, and in one pocket was a tiny handkerchief, and the other a purse just large enough to hold a penny. Oh, Mary thought knew how to do things when it came to making dolls. Now, you might think that Lady Arabella was too plain and sensible for a Christmas doll, but there was something about her that made that everyone liked. The toys liked her, the elves liked her. You remember that. Mary thought liked her best of all the toys he had made that year, and Santa Claus felt sure that Princess Maud and her grandmother would be delighted with her too. Now, when Mischief left Mary thought he went looking for Lady Arabella, and he found her seated on a windowsill behind the curtain watching the reindeer romping in the snow. Mischief slipped behind the curtain too, and first of all he asked Lady Arabella if she heard him talking to Mary thought just now. Yes, Lady Arabella had heard every single word. Then Mischief asked a very strange question indeed. Do you know what a tantrum is? Lady Arabella asked he. No, I never heard of a tantrum, said Lady Arabella. Well, a tantrum is this, explained Mischief, his face very sober, but his eyes twinkling with fun. You want your own way, and you dance up and down and scream and cry, and sometimes you lie on the floor and kick. Now, Lady Arabella, do you think you could have a tantrum? He asked. Yes, answered Lady Arabella promptly. I'm sure that I could. Then let me whisper in your ear, said Mischief. And when he had finished whispering, he and Lady Arabella laughed, nodded at one another, and laughed again. They had a secret, and soon you shall know what the secret is. Ho, 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 my goodness. We have an interesting story, don't we? We're going to stop the story right here and pick it up tomorrow. So you really want to listen to our next episode here of Santa Claus Says to find out what is the secret that Lady Arabella had with Mischief. So that'll be interesting indeed, indeed. Well, there is our glockenspiel, boys and girls, and that is the chimes, which means it is now time for our letter to Santa. So our letter to Santa is from Alex, and it goes like this. Hi, Santa. My name is Alex, and I'm 14 years old, and I want a Jordan Nike Dunks and a Lego Technic machine. And that is a wonderful thing to ask for there. And we also would like uh, a game. Well, I want you to know, Alex, that games are wonderful to have. And I hope that you will have fun playing games that help you to think and to do have fun while you think and work out puzzles that you can have. And so that's what you can do. So I want all the boys and girls in the world to think and to work out puzzles as well as have fun. It's good to use your mind when you play. So that's what I want you to remember, Alex, and you can do just that. Now, that is what I want to remind you that everybody can write to Santa Claus by simply going to santaclaussays.net, and that is where you can send me a letter. I mean, you can send me an email or a voicemail or a text message, and I will get those as well. So look forward to hearing from you. I love all the boys and girls of the world and love to talk to you and listen to you very, very much. Well, boys and girls, that means it's about the end of this episode of SantaClausSays.net. I want to remind you that SantaClausSays.net has two very special shows that we have. We are here every night on YouTube at about 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And you go to youtube.com/Santa Claus Says. You can also find me on podcast, on Apple Podcast, and all the other podcast directories, and at our website, SantaClausSays.net, where you can listen to the podcast, and we hope that you will do just that. Now, our two special shows we have coming up are on Christmas Eve. Christmas Eve, we will, which is December 24th, we will read the story The Night Before Christmas. You know how the story goes. And if you don't know the story, your moms and dads and grandparents and other people in your life know the story. The night before Christmas, and all through the house, not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. We will tell that story on Christmas Eve next to the fireplace at Santa's house at the North Pole. And then on Christmas Day, we will read the story of the very first Christmas, which is from the Bible. It's the story of the birth of Jesus, which is really what Christmas is really, really, really all about. It's about the birth, it's a birthday party to celebrate Jesus, the most important baby ever born in history. So we'll read that story right from the Bible on Christmas morning, December 25th. So we'd like you to join us on Christmas Eve and Christmas morning and every day between now and Christmas at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We're on youtube.com/Santa Claus Says and at santaclaussays.net, not .net, on podcast and on Apple Podcasts and all the other places you get podcasts. Well, that's going to do it for our episode today here of santaclaussays.net. We love you. We care for you. We're here to listen to you and help you to celebrate Christmas in three ways: by spreading Christmas cheer, by having a wonderful Christmas story, and the third thing is to read letters to Santa. And we hope that you'll do that. We'll see you next time, boys and girls, here on santaclaussays.net. Until then, remember that Santa Claus says to always be good for goodness sakes. Ho, 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 ho.
You're special to Santa Claus, just like Sprinkles. Get on Santa's nice list at santaclaussays.net and watch Santa Claus Says live on YouTube. Tell him Sprinkles